Hi, I'm Mikaela, and this is Love Mikaela, a podcast where I talk about literally anything and everything I want to. We're about a week out from December, actually, I guess a week and a half from the day that I'm recording this. And so I thought I would talk about how I get ready for Christmas, all my Christmas prep, just for fun, and if anyone's interested. Christmas is one of my favorite times of the year just because of the feeling around Christmas time, the vibes and I don't know, I just feel like a lot of people, because not everyone, but I feel like a lot of people just kind of feel this feeling of I don't know, joy or community a little bit more around Christmas time. Um, and so I really enjoy that, and my family's really important to me. For us, it's not really like a religious thing because we're not like a religious family. If it is for you, cool. If it's not, also cool. Like, do whatever. Celebrate the way that works best for you. But it's really just kind of about family and being together and appreciating each other, and of course, giving some gifts. Not that that's the main thing, but gift giving is one of my top love languages. I love giving gifts. I love receiving gifts. I love when something's a surprise and it tells me. I know that a lot of people think of it as like a materialistic thing, but it doesn't have to be. For me, the reason I love it so much is because it's like someone took the time and the effort to think about me enough to be like, oh, I think they would really like this, and then to get something for me. Or they saw something in a store and were like, oh, this made me think of you, so I bought it for you as a gift. That's why I love it so much, because there's so much thought usually put into things, at least on my end, and at least with my family. There's a lot of thought put into the gifts that we give out. And so it's really special for me. So I kind of love Christmas time. It hasn't really felt like Christmas like the way that it used to when I was younger, even in high school. I think it's just a part of growing up. It just kind of changes a little bit. You lose a little bit of that magic. And I don't like that. And I want to try and bring it back. So this year, I'm trying some new things to try and bring some of that magic back. I did try it last year and I think I got it a little bit, but it wasn't to the extent that I wanted it. And so this year I'm trying some extra stuff to see if maybe that adds anything or doesn't. I don't know. We'll see. But it's worth a try and it'll be different, so I'm excited for that. We usually put up our tree around Thanksgiving time, and right now it is is it 2 days? 2 days before Thanksgiving for me, and we already put up our tree. I feel like normally we put it up after, but this year I wanted to kind of get a head start, get in a little early on it, have it up a little longer. And maybe that'll add to the magic, make it stretch a little longer too. I don't know. Also because my little sister is coming into town earlier than we had expected, and so I kind of wanted the tree to already be up. But in order to there's even little things you can do to make things feel more Christmassy and magical when you're doing stuff like this. So for me, put in a little effort to how I looked. I did my makeup cute and my hair cute, and I put on something that felt kind of cozy and cute. Cute being the operative word here, apparently. And I also put, for me, British Bake Off definitely evokes the holiday feeling. And so I put the Christmas episodes, because they do a holiday special one where they bring in past bakers, or sometimes we watched one where I think they brought in celebrities. I don't know, because I don't really watch British TV. So I don't really know who they were, but I think they were celebrities. They were all the cast of some show or something. They definitely weren't the same bakers, because they weren't like previous bakers, because it was not the same standard that it normally is. It was good, just not what you would normally see on Bake Off. But I put the Christmas episodes up. There's New Year's ones in the same playlist in the same seasons as the Christmas ones, but I skipped over those because we're doing Christmas and not New Year's. So not yet. It's not New Year's yet. Um, put Bake Off on, and then the way that me and my mom do it, I think we did it kind of the same way last year. Our tree, so we do a fake tree. We do a fake tree. Good Lord. We don't do a real one, and so our tree, it has like a cylinder thing in the center, and then you have to hook on the individual branches like around each layer, and they're like color coordinated or whatever, except for the very top. There's like one big top piece that you just stick on, but it's mostly branch by branch. And you have to like fluff each individual branch. If you like have a fake tree, you probably know what I'm talking about, where you like spread out the branches of the tree so it looks more realistic and less fake. Well, I mean, it's still gonna look fake, but so it looks better. And I hate doing that part. I get scratchy. I get little rashes from it sometimes. It's not like I'm allergic. I think it just like irritates my skin. I don't know. I have really sensitive skin. And so the way that we did it, I think we did this the same way last year, but the way we did it this year is I set up like the base of the tree and I like made space for the tree. Oh, and before I did all of that, I vacuumed the whole house. One, because the house needed to be vacuumed, and two, because I wanted to like not be sitting on the floor and getting the stuff for the tree ready and be sitting in like crumbs or something. Not that our house is like really dirty, just that, I wanted it to be clean before I sat down on the floor. So I took care of that. I took the tree out, and I set everything up, and then I like bunched everything together, like the light colors with the light colors, because the branches on the bottom are bigger than the one, it gets smaller as it goes up. And then my mom fluffed all of the branches, and I placed all of the branches. Oop. I placed all of the branches. They have a little thing that connects them, so because there's lights on the tree are like already built in right to the branches, and so there's a plug you have to plug in, and to protect that when you store it, you have to put this little like plastic bag around the end of the plug. And so I was taking all the plastic bags off, setting them together, and then putting the branches on the tree as my mom fluffed all of them, and I think it works pretty well. I make my mom do the part I don't want it to, which isn't great, but it's fine. It works. It works for us. And typically my sister and I decorate the tree together, or we try to every year. Like that's kind of like one of our traditions. And so that's why I wanted the tree up early, in case my sister was like, oh, let's decorate the tree early, or I don't know what her plans are. She likes to see her friends while she's here too. And so I want to like make space for that as well. And then if she's like, oh, I don't want to decorate the tree this year, then like me and my mom can do it later. But I just thought, have the tree ready just in case. So decorating will come later. We usually we have a certain amount of ornaments that we do. We have some like BT21 plush ones that we put on, and we have some like just plain one, not plain, but like little baubles that we put on. We usually do like I don't want to say usually. Sometimes we do like a tinsel around the tree. It just kind of depends on what we're going for. I also just want to mention, if you see a bunch of cuts in this, I probably still sound stuffed up too. Obviously, I'm still getting over. I'm really like at the end of the cold at this point. It's just like sinus stuff, and then it's also been windy the last few days, which is how I got sick in the first place, unfortunately. And so I think like I'm not, I haven't gone outside except to like maybe throw trash away or something. But I don't think that that's gonna help my sinus situation either. So that's why you'll see cuts, because I'm still coughing a little bit, or I have to blow my nose, or something's irritating me, and so I need to like grab a sip of water and maybe blow my nose out. Yeah. Anyway, just wanted to clear that up, because you probably have noticed that there's been a million cuts at this point because I've had to. Anyway, since the tree is up and we're not going to decorate it yet, because I'm going to see if my sister wants to do that with me this year, as usual, I did put up like our stockings. I put the skirt around the Christmas tree, like little stuff like that. We keep most of our Christmas stuff together in one spot. Like we don't do a ton of decorating, just a little bit. Like I got the wreath that we put on our front door out. I didn't put it up because again, it's been so windy. Like yesterday was really, really bad. I could feel like the house shaking. That's how bad it was. Our ornaments, like all of that is up in the attic, so I don't know when me and my sister are gonna get that down if we're gonna decorate the tree. But yeah, besides like ornaments and some little stuff, everything else is all in the same space. So I like got out what we would normally put out for Christmas time to decorate already. So that's already done. So the way that I plan for Christmas in terms of like gifts, I, a long time ago, did an exchange with some friends of mine, and we used this website called Elfster, and it was a way for us to do our Secret Santa. But I realized you can use that because it's really handy and really convenient. You can use that and not set up the Secret Santa aspect of it and just keep wish lists going for everyone. And so you can have your little gift exchange going. I wonder if you could just do it and just make a wish list. That's probably an easier way to do it, actually, now that I think about it. But the way that I do it is, so Elfster, you can send out a link or you send an invitation through email, stuff like that. And you can make a little like gift exchange event and invite people to that, and then assign, like, it'll, like, if you're doing a Secret Santa kind of thing or a gift exchange kind of thing, you can randomize it, or you can pick people to be other people's Secret Santas, like, on the website, and then everyone makes their own, like, wish list. And, like, the reason I love it so much is because when you make the wish list, it's not just like putting things in, like, you can put direct links to it, and you can search, like, you don't have, like, you can copy and paste a link and do it that way, but you can also search through, like, just go through the website and it'll take you to different, like, Amazon or, like, different stores, like, I think Sephora's on there, Target, like, stuff like that. And then, so you have the direct link, and you can put, like, it has a section for notes. You can put, like, if you're getting clothes, what size you want, or, like, if there's a certain color of the thing that you want that's on your list, like, stuff like that. So that way people aren't guessing. Like, you can put exactly what you want on there, but it's still a surprise to the person getting the gift, because you don't know, what gifts on your list are actually being purchased for you and what aren't. And it'll save your list for you after. So if there was stuff that you really wanted that you didn't get, but now, like let's say you got money for Christmas from someone, or it doesn't have to be Christmas, but for whatever, you got money as a gift, and so now you can go back to your list and be like, oh, what didn't I get? I can go and, like, it'll remind you, like, oh yeah, I wanted that thing, let me go buy it. Another, like, really cool part of it is, so for us, I don't assign people names, so that way everyone has access to everyone else's lists. I don't know if that's changed at all. Again, like, this is just the way that I've been doing it. Um, Everyone can see everyone else's lists, and you can mark something as already purchased on that list. So if it's multiple people buying for one person, then we can see the list, and I can see, oh, someone already bought that, so I don't need to buy that. Like, that was already bought on the list, but the person who put the item on the list doesn't know that it was bought yet. So it's still a surprise for them, and I think that's really cool. Like, that's a good tool to use if you have trouble sometimes buying gifts. Like, obviously you want to try and be thoughtful about it, but, like, if someone knows exactly what they want, then they can put it on the list, and it's still a surprise because they don't know what thing they got off the list. And another really cool part of the list is the person making the wish list can, like, mark as something if it's, like, their top thing that they want. You could do it for multiple things. It's not like only one thing you can mark it as that. You can put it as, like, most wanted, I think is what they say. Like, I think that's the label that it has. And it'll be at the top of your list. Which is really cool. Like, that's fun, and it makes gift giving a little bit easier, especially if you're like, oh, I'm not really sure what to get this person, or if it's someone who's hard to buy for because they normally buy stuff when they want it, which is kind of how I am sometimes. So I'm surprised that my sister and my mom can find such good gifts for me, because I normally just buy stuff when I want it. But yeah, it's a nice tool to use. So we use that. I personally like to get most of my shopping done beginning November, mid-November, sometimes sometimes end of October if I'm really, really early. But yeah, I like to try and have everything done by the end of November if I can. Obviously, there's some little things here and there maybe that I'm missing that I'll buy beginning of December, but by the time, like, that second week of December hits, I try to be completely done and completely, like, wrapped, like, everything done. Unless there's, like, stuff that, like, throughout the year that I'm like, oh, this is, like, it takes a long time to ship or something. Like, there's some BTS merch that comes out during the year, and I'm like, oh, that would be good to buy now. Like, if it's an expensive thing, buy it now and then save it as, like, a Christmas gift for later. So besides that, but usually around, like, November-ish is when I'm trying to get all my shopping done, which is also why it's important for me to get the tree up early so I have a place to put everything, because right now I have this pile, you guys can't see it obviously because it's behind the camera, but I have this pile in my room of just gifts that need to be wrapped and then put under the tree. But we didn't have the tree until a couple days ago, so obviously I wasn't wrapping anything Yeah, but it saves space in my room when we have the tree up early. Another little thing that I decided to do this year to try and make things more Christmassy was I made myself an advent calendar, sort of. Last year I bought the Target Beauty advent calendar and it was fine. I definitely used some of the stuff, and then some of the stuff that I was like, oh, this doesn't really fit like for my like it looks weird, like the colors aren't great for my skin tone or stuff like that. Then I asked like my sister if she wanted it or my mom if she wanted it. Um but I want to do something bigger this year, and initially I was trying to buy an advent calendar that was on Yes Style. Um I came across it on a TikTok, and the stuff in it, one was worth, it was worth the price, and then two, the stuff in it, I was like, a lot of that stuff was stuff that I wanted to buy anyway, and I was like, oh, that would be fun. And I love advent calendars because I love surprises. Like, I like being surprised when I get a gift, and so if I can buy a gift and it's gonna surprise me, um and it's like stuff that I know that I want because I'm the one buying it, then all the more fun for me. And so I really tried to buy that, but I couldn't. I was too slow on buying it, and so it was just sold out and has been sold out for a while now for my area, unfortunately. So I couldn't get that. So then I told myself, okay, let me give myself the same budget as what the Yes Style calendar costs, and then just buy stuff that I know that I would like. So I like bulk bought a bunch of stuff, mostly Korean beauty, and then some little like crafts and things that I know that I'll like. And I'm going to wrap everything up and number them, and then draw like random numbers from, I don't know, like a bowl or something. So that way I don't know what it is. Hopefully, I mean, like, I know everything. I honestly actually know. Like, I'm thinking about it now. I don't know everything I bought. I mean, when I wrap it all, I'm going to know. I also might ask my mom to wrap them for me, so I don't know what's what. So it'll still be a little bit of a surprise. Not as big of a surprise as if I had just bought the advent calendar, but that wasn't an option. And now I got to pick what I like actually wanted. So I know it's all stuff that I'm going to use, or stuff that I've been eyeing for a while. So I think it'll still be fun. I mean, there might be a little less of a surprise, but it's still like stuff I want. So I'm excited for that. I'm also doing a special little gift surprise thing for me and my sister and my mom. So it won't be a surprise for me because I'm the one buying them. But just so that way I also get the special feeling. But each of us, I bought each of us this like special thing that I'm doing on Christmas Eve. I'm not going to go into it just in case one of them watches or listens to this, because I don't want it to be spoiled for them since this is going out early. And I think hopefully that'll add to the magic a little bit. I've definitely like feeling more excited as I've been buying everything, and so hopefully that excitement carries over as December rolls in and continues on until the holiday. Um, December is big because of Christmas, and also because Christmas Eve is my mom's birthday. And so I have to double up on gifts for her. I guess I don't have to, but I like to because I like giving gifts. Also, like, if you have a friend or a family member and their birthday is like Christmas Eve or even Christmas Day, don't just give them one gift. Give them two, even if like it doesn't have to be expensive, or at least make sure you give them a card, at least like a birthday card. Because you want to acknowledge, like, I feel like for a lot of people that's one of the part that kind of sucks if you have a birthday around like a holiday, because it's like, oh, the holiday. Well, not everyone thinks that their birthday is important as an important day. I personally like to make my birthday an important day. But I know not everyone does. But for people who do like to celebrate their birthday, it's unfortunate if it's around a holiday because it kind of gets overshadowed. So make sure you make people feel special on their birthday, even if it's a holiday time. So for my mom's birthday being Christmas Eve, I doubled up on the gifts, like I said, and so I actually already did part of her present, which was I took her to a concert for a K-pop, not K-pop, a Korean band that she really likes. I mean, they're K-pop, but they're not. They're called The Rose, and so I took her to that concert. That was a weekend last week. Man, when was that? Last week? Time flies. And so we went to that, and then I bought her a concert t-shirt. She was gonna buy it herself, and I was like, no, I'll just throw it in with your present. So we went and did that, but also like it was a gift for me because I had fun. I love going to concerts. Even if I don't like I didn't know this group really well like at all. But I've been listening to their concert set list. Like I found a Spotify playlist someone made of their concert set list. And I've been listening to that like the week leading up to it, so I knew kind of the songs going in. And like their music is good, you know? But I just love concerts. I love the vibe and feeling. So I had fun too. So it was kind of a gift for myself. But yeah, I took my mom to a concert, bought her a t-shirt, and this is actually the first year I think where I'm spending more on my mom, even though it's her birthday and Christmas. I'm spending more. This is like the first year, maybe the second year, that I've spent more on my mom than I did on my sister so far. I still have a couple things I want to grab for my sister before I finish off. But yeah, I just really love giving gifts for my sister because for me, she's easy to shop for because I feel like I know her so well. And my mom's a little bit harder to shop for because she doesn't even like getting gifts. She's like, don't spend money on me. And I'm like, but I want to. It's part of the fun. I love giving gifts and seeing people open it. Like, it makes me feel good. Um, yeah. Like, last year, I definitely had way less presents to open than my mom and my sister did. But that's just because I got them so many things. And I don't know. That's part of the fun for me. I love it. Like, I love taking turns. Maybe this should be a different video, but on Christmas I love taking turns opening presents because I love to just like be able to watch people open everything I got them. Like I love the feeling I get. I just, especially when they like it a lot. And so I always like to ask like, oh, what was the favorite gift that you got from me, like out of what I gave you? Not your favorite gift overall, because I'm not gonna be like pressuring you, you know, but like what was the favorite one that I got you? So fingers crossed that my mom and my sister both like everything that they've gotten this year. And I also have a little extra income right now, and so like I want to splurge a little and spoil them. And I love spoiling my sister, which is why I normally spend like way more on her than on my mom, even though it's two things for my mom. But this year I don't think that's the case. I think I definitely spent more on my mom than my sister, at least so far. I only have like one or two things I want to grab for my sister anyway, and they're not that expensive. So I think my mom will be my top buy this year. And how do I know that? Well, glad you asked. Um, I definitely budget for Christmas. I'm not just spending. I'm keeping track of everything that I budget. And the way that I do that is I use an Excel spreadsheet. I love Excel. I love using spreadsheets. I love being organized. It's just a thing about me that I love. I love being organized, and Excel is really helpful for that, especially when it comes to like budgeting and keeping track of how much I'm spending. And so I have this spreadsheet, like I always open up the one from Christmas the year before, and then I just delete like all the stuff that was in there, and then I resave it as the one for this year. And it's really simple. It's not anything crazy. There's some like you can look up, people do like some really cool budgeting stuff with Excel. Like you can really make Excel like shine. I don't do all of that. I don't have the time for all of that, but I do have the time to make it really simple. So the way that I do it is first I set my budget ahead of time with a little bit of wiggle room, like, and wiggle room will depend on what your budget is. For me this year my wiggle room was about $100 or so dollars. So I think I'm going over budget by about $100, but that's like all, like I have like a hard cap, right? I'm like of how much I can have. But your wiggle room might only be like $5 or $10 or whatever. Up to you. But I set my budget. I don't like tie that to anything. Like I just put it in one of the cells on the spreadsheet. So I just know this is how much that I want to spend. And then I make a section for each person I'm buying for. So like one says my sister's name, and then one says like my mom, and then one is like my grandma, and one is like I have a section for each of my friends, stuff like that. And then I also do sections for extra stuff, like if I'm buying things for coworkers or for our stockings, like I have my own stocking section. And then this year, since I'm doing an advent calendar for myself, I had an advent calendar section, stuff like that, so I can really just keep track of everything that I'm buying. And in each section I have their name, and then the next, like that's just one cell, and then the next column is what the item is that I bought or that I want to buy. It also helps me keep track of like if there's something I know I want to buy for them but I just haven't bought it yet. Keeps track of that. So I have their name, the item name, like whatever the thing is that I'm buying that I'm going to give to them as a gift. And then the next section, the section next to that is the price of that object. And then next to that is the status. And for me, the status typically, like, it'll be different for whatever, like, depending on how crazy you guys want to go. I go pretty into it. So I have like, I leave it blank if I haven't done anything with it yet. And then I have like, ordered, or like I ordered already, or arrived if it already has come in. Like if it's something I ordered, it needs to be it needs to come in. If it's not something that I need to order, like it's something I have to go in the store and buy, I still put arrive so that I know that I like have it with me. And then I will usually do wrapped, if it's been wrapped but not put under the tree yet, or I'll do wrapped, or I'll just do like done, like it's completely done, it's wrapped, it's under the tree, I don't need to worry about it anymore. And then I also have some gifts that I'm like making, like craft stuff, and so I have materials, or I'll put need to make. And then if I finished it but I need to wrap it still, I'll put made, so that way I know, it's done but I need to like wrap it. And that helps me keep track of like what I've already bought, if it's here yet, if it's not here yet, like if I'm waiting on it, like it's something I should be expecting in the mail, if it's already been wrapped and under the tree, if it's something I need to make. Like it just helps me keep track of every little detail of it, so that way like if there's a gift that I wanted to like have ready for this person, I know exactly where it is, and then I'm not missing anything. So it's not just budgeting, it's also helping me keep track of like how much progress I've made on the gift, basically. I also color code it, so each person has their own color, and then all their items are in that color, so I know, just like keeping it clear who I'm buying for. And then the very last column after the status is I just put the total. And so in one of the cells, you can just do the equals. It's an equation, so it's equals and then sum. I don't know if it has to be in all caps, but I always do it in all caps. Sum, and then you parenthesis, like an open parenthesis, and then you can either type in the cell name and then a colon to the end of the cell name, or you can highlight, like you can put the equation in and then put the parenthesis, and then you can highlight it, like drag it, click and drag with your mouse, and it'll automatically put all of those cells into the equation. And then to end the equation, you put an end parentheses, like that's it. You can look up the sum. It's one of the easiest equations. I know that there's a sum button on there as well, but this is just the way that I do it to make it easier for myself. So that's all I do. I just sum it up. And then for each section, like I know where the sum, like, because I know where the total is, right, for each person's little section. Then I just, in one cell, like on the very edge of the document, I put the entire sum. So I put total sum of like everything that I've spent. And so that for that, I just do equals sum parenthesis, and then I just put in the names of each of the cells that have the total amount for each section, each person, and like stockings and all of that. And then I have the total sum there, and then I compare, as I'm buying gifts, that total sum to the amount that I put for my budget. And so it helps me stay on track for my budget, as well as it helps me see how much I've spent on each person. So if there's like certain people, like my friends, I try to keep it pretty even, or like maybe I'm closer friends with this person, but these people like I still want to buy gifts for, but like I rather like these people I want to keep in the same price range. This person's one price range. My mom, my sister, I want to keep in a pretty even price range, but more for my mom because it's her birthday, stuff like that. So it helps me keep track of how much I've spent on each person, and whether I need to like get a few more things for one person or not. And then if I'm staying in my budget, like it helps me keep track of everything. Or if I'm like, oh, we don't have a lot of stocking stuffers this year, but the stuff that I did get is more expensive, and so that's why there's like it helps me keep track of everything. And I think it's a really easy way to keep track of stuff and keep a budget for your Christmas. And so that's what I like to do. And then it's also helpful because like it'll keep track of I keep track of all my ideas in there of like stuff I want. And then for homemade stuff, it helps me keep track of like I also put in the materials I need. Like let's say I'm making something, I'm like, oh, I need this color thread and I need this thing and this thing. I'll put that in my status section, like need blah, 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 blah. So that way, if I'm going to the store, I don't have to go a million times because I'm like, oh, I forgot that thing for their gift. Like I almost did that. I did have to go to the craft store 2 times so far, but I don't think there's anything else on there that I need, that I'm making, that I need stuff for, because I went and checked it before I went the second time to the craft store, and I was like, oh, that's right, I forgot to grab that thing. So I was able to grab it, and so now I don't have to go back, hopefully. unless like I mess something up, then I'll have to go back. But hopefully I won't have to go back. And so I really love using the Excel spreadsheet. I think it's really, really helpful. Another way that I'm trying to make things feel more Christmassy is since I started listening to K-pop, okay, before I listened to K-pop, I used to have a Christmas playlist of like all my Christmassy songs. It's mostly like Pentatonics. There was some Ariana Grande in there, and then some like classic Christmas carols, like from like movies, Michael Bublé, stuff like that. I had a playlist ready to go, and that's what I would only listen to that from November to December. Well, not end of December, but from November until Christmas, like every year, like that was my playlist. But then I started listening to K-pop. People are releasing albums or new songs or whatever, and they're not necessarily Christmassy. It's just like it's a new album, and so I stopped listening to that playlist. And I think that not listening to Christmas music has definitely taken away some of the Christmas feeling, but I still want to listen to my K-pop. Like, it's good music. It's good music. I don't know what to tell you. Just because it's not Christmassy doesn't mean it's not good. So what I'm trying to do now is sprinkling in some of my Christmas playlists while also listening to my K-pop music. So like when I'm going to work, I'll listen to Christmas music on the way there and then K-pop on the way back, or vice versa, or whatever. Or I'll listen to the Christmas playlist and then I'm like, I'm not really feeling it anymore, then I'll change it. But I'm trying to like get myself slowly. I think I also would just overload myself with this feeling of Christmas, and that like I almost burned myself out a little, I guess. And so now I'm kind of trying to like slowly sprinkle it in between when I'm listening to just like my normal music. And I think that that'll help a little bit. And then when I was shopping, they were playing Christmas music, even though it wasn't even Thanksgiving yet. This was like 2 weeks ago. So like beginning of November. I was like, oh, wow. I mean, it gets earlier and earlier every year, so I'm not super surprised, but I was just like, oh, okay, Christmas music already, got it. I'm also thinking of maybe trying to bake some gingerbread this year. I've never done that, but I really like gingerbread. I just don't really have it very often. And it's because I was watching Bake Off and they were using gingerbread. They were making gingerbread houses. And I was like, oh, actually, maybe I could do some homemade gingerbread and like try it and like find like a good recipe that's like not too difficult. I'm kind of a baker. I'm not like good, but like, I can follow a recipe decently and make something that'll taste good. So I have like basic knowledge of things. So I think I might try that this year. And my mom was even looking up recipes when we were watching Bake Off. So I think maybe that's something we'll do together. But I feel like that would be fun to do, to make some gingerbread, and I like eating it. So might as well. So that's something that I'm going to try and do and add to the Christmas magic feeling. And then I'm also going to make more of an effort this year because, again, as I got into K-pop, I also got into Korean dramas, K-dramas. Obviously, because half of these podcasts are reviews on Korean dramas. But I wasn't really watching a ton of Christmassy stuff. Last year, we tried to find like K-dramas that, like, me and my mom tried to find K-dramas that had more of a winter or Christmas feeling. And there are a few. I honestly can't even remember what they were. There were a few. And there was one that was really good. I just can't remember what it was called. Or honestly, even what it was about. But it was good. That's what I remember. But there aren't really a ton. And we really like watching K-dramas together. And I don't want to just, I love a good cheesy Christmas Hallmark movie. I love those. I'm a rom-com girl. I love it. I don't care if they're cheesy. I think they're so fun. And I love the Christmas ones. So maybe I'll try it. But like, I feel like I haven't really been watching them. And so I think I'm going to try and make an effort to watch more of them this year. I also like to put them on like when we're decorating the tree or when I'm wrapping presents, just to kind of have that ambiance a little bit. But I'm going to make more of an effort to like actually watch some. And are they going to be good? Probably not, because they crank out so many every year. Maybe there'll be a few gems for sure, but like it'll still be fun. It'll add to it. And I definitely want to kind of make more of an effort to make things feel more Christmassy this time. So I'm going to try and do that this year. And then there's a street in my town that like they do crazy Christmas lights every year, and I like to go every year and like listen to Christmas music. You can walk it or you can drive it. Like, people do both, and we usually just drive it because walking it, like, it's cold and we're lazy. We don't want to walk it. Maybe we will walk it this year, but then also you have to find parking, which is kind of hard. So usually we just drive it, but we missed it completely last year. And I think they start it like the day after Thanksgiving or something like that. Like by the first weekend after Thanksgiving, like everything's ready to go usually. Like it's like a thing. Like I think if you live on that street, you have to like sign an agreement that you'll like do the Christmas thing every year. Which is crazy, but it's really fun to go to. We missed it last year, so I think if I make sure I make an effort to go to it this year, even if I just go by myself and drive through it and listen to Christmas music, I think it'll feel a little bit more Christmassy if I make an effort to do that. So we'll see. The whole thing is I don't like to go when it's super, super crowded. And so like it's better to go at the beginning of the month, but I just didn't last year. I know one year, I think 2 years ago or maybe 3 years ago at this point, I'm not sure. Me and my little sister went like in the dead of, not the dead of night, but it was like almost midnight when we went. I on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, I think it was on Christmas Eve we went because I was like, we didn't go this year, we forgot, like we didn't go, and we must be like, all right, we're gonna go. So we went really late at night, so it wasn't busy. So that was fun. Some of the lights were off, but that was fun. So I don't know, maybe we'll try that again this year. But I'm definitely gonna go and see the lights at least once this year. We'll see how it plays out. I'm not sure. And then after that is New Year's, and then also for New Year's, there's a big like tradition we do, like a Japanese tradition. We make mochi every. Oh, I said that really weird. We make mochi every year. It's called mochitsuki, and yeah, we make mochi for the new year. So we do that every year, and it's like one of my favorite things. I might vlog. We'll see. We'll see. It might be something I just want to keep for myself. I've definitely already talked about it in a podcast before, so I don't know if I just want to like talk about it again. If I do, then I'll like go really in depth on it, but I think I would rather just do a vlog because that's different, and then you guys can see what we do when we make that. And I think it's fun and interesting. I don't know, it'll depend on like the vibes and if I feel weird taking a camera out or not. I don't have like a big moral. Just if you are buying gifts for Christmas, don't overextend yourself. Don't use this as a time to be like, well, I have to because everyone's doing it. Like, no, like it's really truly the thought that counts when it comes to gift giving. And if the gift you can give is spending time with your family because you don't have a budget or money to spend, or it's just like maybe something that you made, like a bracelet or I don't know, a handkerchief or something, then do that. Don't overextend yourself just because like everyone else is buying a bunch of stuff. Like just do what you can because truly it's the thought that counts. And even just spending time with family, I think is a gift in and of itself. And it doesn't have to be family, but like loved ones, like the people you care about. That's all that matters really. Like that's truly what what's important. And what makes this time of year special is it's like a time where everyone especially focuses on being around the people, like spending quality time with the people that they love and care about. And I think that's really the magic of Christmas and what makes it so special. Are the gifts fun? Sure. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I love gifts. I love getting gifts. I love giving gifts. But the most important part is just like being thoughtful and spending real, true quality time with other people, whether that means you guys are just talking, you're playing a board game, as long as we're not just ignoring each other, unless, you know, like I also love a good time where we all sit in a room together and are all separately on our phones, then maybe sharing something we saw, like a TikTok or something. You know, if that's your quality time, then you go for it, as long as everyone wants to have that as the quality time. But like really spend time with the people you care about. I think that's the most important part of this time of the year, and it's really magical that it's something that everyone likes to focus on. So really utilize that time when you can. Obviously when you can, you know, everyone's schedule is different and sometimes things work out and sometimes they don't. But even just like a half hour with the people that you care about, or even just meeting someone for coffee, I think it's really special and it'll add to the magic of this year. And if you need help budgeting, you can use an Excel spreadsheet, or you can find, there's tons of people who have made tutorials on the way that they do their budgeting for Christmas. Go find that if you don't like the way that I do it. My way is really, really simple. But yeah, just that's how I get ready for Christmas. If any of that was helpful for you, cool. And if not, sorry. But that's what I do, and that's what I wanted to talk about for today. But thank you for spending this time with me. I hope you have a lovely holiday with your family, or I guess I hope you had, because this will be going up after. And I hope that this upcoming holiday season is kind to you. Take care of yourself, take care of the people you care about and those around you. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, evening, night, morning, week, weekend, whenever you're watching this. But yeah, thank you for spending time with me, and I will see you next time. Love, Mikaela. Bye.